Hey Tom.
You're on mute, I think.
Hi
Can you
guys,
hear?
There you
Hey,
are. Hey, Tom.
how's
how are things
everybody?
going for you?
How are you, Tom?
All's well.
Yeah.
Think of the snow.
Yeah, I was caught off guard by that. I thought it was supposed to rain, but guess not.
I was just telling Austin that we're in a crazy warm spell, and I think we're gonna hit 80 before the week's over, which is unusual for us, but I'm excited. I'm tired of winter.
Yep.
I don't know how y'all do it.
I don't know why we do it. Yeah. I, I guess, yeah, I guess we love the four seasons, but
Yes, we're really holding on to that
yeah,
that spring, summer, fall.
yeah, yep, exactly. Three good ones.
I mean, we're supposed to get. I was looking at it again because I'm pretty sure I saw this earlier. Next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's supposed to get up to 60.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Maybe your snow will be gone.
Yeah,
I
hopefully.
mean, I don't think it'll go that quick, but that's the thing around here. Like Saturday it was 45 and it felt like shorts weather. And
Yeah.
you can appreciate
Yeah.
the slight warm-ups. So,
I hear you.
I was definitely outside for a brief moment in shorts, that's for sure.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Snow and shorts. I like it.
yeah.
How have you been, Tom?
Good. Yeah. The year started busy. So yeah, can't complain.
Good. How's the last month been? Any new projects come in?
Well, we're still, maybe I was telling Austin, maybe this looks good for a big one for Turner Construction, a job in Cambridge. I think it's 121 Broadway. So that one looks like it's going to happen. We don't officially have a contract yet, but we've been recommended to the client, and
Hmm.
so we're hopeful on that. There's a decent Harvard job. Looks like we're close on a couple $100,000 job. So that's, yeah, pretty exciting. But just a lot of steady stuff, our existing clients. Couple decent bank jobs I got going, and our favorite car wash account looks like they're ramping up for a big year. So
Good.
it's a lot of work flows with those guys.
Yeah, I think that's a fascinating industry. Um, I think I told you my brother has a small sign company and he's always busy with car washes.
Yeah.
And there's always a lot of venture capital and other people getting into them and buying them and consolidating them and rebranding them and
Yeah, that's it.
yeah, it's a
Yep.
money make like those in laundromats seem to be money makers.
Yep. Yep. We used to do a lot more laundromats. They seem to kind of died out around here anyway, but
Yeah, they're not as much of a thing here. Um, but yeah, a couple of those cash flow businesses.
Mhm.
I should
all
buy
those
one.
laundromats started buying car washes.
Yeah, probably. And then they probably all get bought up by BlackRock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the Turner construction project? I know I saw that in the notes.
It's a
What?
residential building. It's right across from that big AstraZeneca project we're doing in
Okay.
Cambridge. It's kind of like the biotech area of Cambridge.
Yep.
It's a real hot spot. It's right near MIT, but just down the street from Harvard. So
Okay.
yeah, I think all that was by design to kind of pull from those schools. And
Sure.
um, seems like a lot of the bigger biotech companies are coming from all over the country and kind of landing in that area.
Yeah.
Those big buildings
W-
going up.
When will you know about that? Whether you get it or not?
I thought we'd know by now. I don't know if it's one of those cases where, this happens a lot. It's like, hurry, we got to make a decision. We got to get your bids
Hmm.
in. And then they go silent for, weeks.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it'll be, you got to hurry up. You're behind.
Okay.
So we're
Oh
used to
man.
that. But yeah, I'm hoping this week we'll hear, officially.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Viewpoint things have started a little slow. I mean, at least on the sales side, with, I should say, closing out jobs. Bookings
Hmm,
are okay, but there's some good things brewing down there that seem like they're about to hit. So,
good.
yeah, it looks still good there. But Metro had a better month in February. So,
Did you say earlier that some business from Viewpoint passed over to MSA too?
well, that's that Turner job
Yeah.
actually was
Hmm,
that's the big one that, yeah. And I mean, Metro and Viewpoint help each other on the fabrication side, probably more so Metro doing Viewpoint work. Yeah, Viewpoints, generally does more in volume than Metro. It hasn't been that way to start the year, but
hmm,
typically, so Metro's able to help out. Metro's fabrication's pretty much caught up right now, so we're looking for work. So I'm trying to get some things released.
hmm.
That's
It's
great.
pretty, yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, yeah, for today, we're gonna just go through the to-dos updates. You know the drill. And then Dave's gonna give us some numbers updates on SEO and stuff like that. And then once we go through this, I do want to touch base on the Viewpoint and MSA, MSA case studies, and then Viewpoint sign categories. Just seeing if you want to push forward with those in March, 'cause I knew we had those kind of planned to work those in March. So if we can flesh out as much as we can for those, and if you want to push forward with those, we can I can draw out a creative brief um, for our production team for Adrian to start producing some mock-ups for the website. We can even work on one of them or both of them. So we can discuss that later. But that's just a
Uh,
general setup. Sound good?
I Yeah, yeah, for sure.
All right. So yeah, March blog. I'm gonna say we're working on that right now. Um, I always get Viewpoint and MSA mixed up when I'm going through like when it comes to working on the blogs. So I remember that one. Working on that. And the VP February social, the last was scheduled and ready to go. As I understand, we were the ones posting for VP. Um, and so after those are scheduled tomorrow, we'll close that one. Q1 newsletter is in the queue for that one. Just to rehash on that, we are just to keep it efficient, lightweight. We're gonna focus on the blog posts that we've posted in the past, leading up to the newsletter. Um, and you use that to as a predominant copy and just flow for the newsletter. Then also, I remember we were talking about the MSA and Viewpoint. We wanted them not to be right on top of each other, so maybe stagger them. So MSA we're going to do in March, and then VP we're going to do in April. So that's the kind of plan for those. Um,
What
yeah,
about social media for, what was the plan for Viewpoint Metro? Where did we leave off at that? We
yeah.
gonna do every other week for one, or
Well,
so
the
two?
plan, because I know that we were with Viewpoint. The original plan was to do it before we did Q1, was to do it every other. So blog post was 1 month, and then social media the next month. But with that, since we're, we're pausing on VP with the proposal, you said to mix it in with MSA on the months that we're doing VP, correct?
Or you could probably, so we were doing four for Metro. I mean,
Mhm.
you could just do every other week for each company as opposed to, four for Metro every other month.
Okay.
I
So
think
like
that'd be probably the best thing.
so like Metro week one, Viewpoint week two, Metro week
Yeah,
three, Viewpoint week
yeah,
four.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Thanks for asking.
that'd be
Uh,
great.
yeah. So we can do that. We will just viewpoint from to every other month to every other week with MSA.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Um,
if they're both sharing the post are commenting back and forth, then you can kind of get a double use out of them, I guess,
Mm, yeah.
if it's relevant.
And then, or that blog post. Yeah. So yeah, we'll adjust that. MSA website case studies. We'll talk about this. So this is something in the queue. And then the March social for MSA. So it's ready for your review, based off your feedback from last time. And then MSA February social. All posts were approved.
Yeah,
Uh,
you can close that.
okay. Want to double
Yep.
check and see if those were posted. Great. And then, yeah, waiting on you for the categorizations that you had in mind for the
Yeah,
viewpoint.
I'd say push that out to June just to give me the time to start
Okay.
chipping away at it. There will be a day I think where I can get caught up and work on that. I keep putting it on my calendar each week.
I understand that feeling.
I mean, it's the
I
one
forgot
thing
what
I can kind of keep pushing out, but at some point it bugs me every time I go on just because I find it very confusing.
what's the phrase, was it make hay while the sun's shining or something like that?
Yeah.
We gotta
Yeah,
Yep, that's it. That's what
the
we're
money's
always
coming
trying to
in.
do.
Money's coming in. You gotta make it happen.
Yep.
that's funny. Yeah, yeah, I know that feeling. So we can do that. We can push it out to June. Other than that, Dave, do you want to jump in and give your numbers?
Sure.
All right.
Which window here? All right. You see those numbers okay?
Yep.
So we're moving right to left from January to February. And then below is February of last year for comparison. So we can do a month to month and year over year. Um, so in general, we had 9 conversions in January to 5 in February. But that actually matches up a little bit with the previous year. So we're still better than 4 for February of last year. And it seems like when I'm looking at the numbers from January to February, they seem consistent year over year. Um, so the number of impressions were down. Um, the click-through rate actually increased, which is a good sign. The cost per click for both years went up a little bit. Conversions went down a little bit. And then, of course, we're spending a little bit more money this year than we were last year. But um, so I think, we'll still keep an eye on things, but it seems like February is just my guess is, we only have 2 data points, but I assume February is a slower month from the ads side of things.
Yeah.
Um, I know you're busy. Do you sense that from new business, new leads, new inquiries, proposals, anything like that on your end?
Um, that February was slower, yes.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Yeah, a little tick back. I mean, around here, there's a lot of vacations in February. Massachusetts has their school vacation week, one week, and then
Hmm.
New Hampshire does the following week. And so a lot of our business comes out of southern New Hampshire and Mass. So I think, having people taking time off definitely slows things down.
Yeah, is that like a winter vacation kind of thing for schools and
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha. But overall, the numbers are better than last February, so I would say that's an
Yeah.
improvement. Yep. And then looking at SEO rankings, um, saw a little bit of a shift downward. Um, just 1 or 2 spots, which is probably normal fluctuations. If it doesn't rebound for this month, then we may want to put some more efforts into something. And if we don't rebound, um, I don't want to see a trend downward. So if we don't rebound pretty quickly, then I'll ask our SEO person for recommendations on, what do we need to do to make sure it's not a trend. Um, but it's been interesting. So we a few drops on the local side, which is the very right column, but we've had some increases in Google as a whole, which is positive. So they're a little bit conflicting there. Um, but
Yeah.
locally, so just one or two shifts down for these at the top here. Architectural signs, awnings near me stayed the same, still at number one, which is good. And even though we've shifted a little bit, we're still in the top five for most of these locally, which is great.
Yep.
Um, so not a lot of fluctuating with the business signs. Commercial awnings, again, slipped one or two spots here. Um, but commercial awnings as a general, like not location specific, uh, ranking number one. It's great. Commercial
Yep.
metal awnings. So again, nothing, no major news, but just couple of slips. I was just a little bit surprised that we had so many that dropped one or two. So it could be that a competitor has upped their game,
Mhm.
and maybe there's a single competitor we can dig into a little bit more, to see if there's somebody's beat you out a couple by redoing a website, producing more blogs, something like that. I'm not concerned about it, but like I said, if we don't rebound
How
in
would
some
you
of those.
find that? How what would you just have to know like who? I mean, I know my competitors, but I don't without going to their site to see what they did or
Yeah, if we don't rebound, what I'll do is I'll ask Mark, our SEO guy, to see if he can come up with, an explanation or a reason why that might be.
okay.
It's a little bit, there's some tools that I could use, but it's a little bit hard for me because these are local rankings, and of course I'm not local.
Yeah.
Um, so
Could
we would,
I
yeah, go
don't know
ahead.
if this is the time I was going to have you look at a competitor's site. I
Sure.
don't really consider them a major competitor, but I looked them up yesterday because I heard we lost a job to them,
Okay.
a decent job. Ardent Visual. And what I found interesting at their site, I'll show you.
Is it Arden Visual?
Yeah, might be, try that. Yeah, Ardent Visual. They're in Everett, Mass, but uh, do Ardent Visual Signs. It might be ON, not EN, but
Mm.
I don't know for sure. Ardent Visual Signs. Yeah.
Yeah, it must be this.
Uh, that doesn't look like the site,
What's
but
their uh,
It might be
uh,
this. Is this it?
yeah, yeah, that's it. So what I found interesting is, I was just looking at their portfolio and stuff, and then I saw locations. This is a small sign company. We've done work for them, but they have all these locations, and all they're doing is repeating the same homepage for
Hmm.
every site. Does that
Yeah.
offer them any benefit for SEO to have?
It shouldn't. I mean, it used
It's-
to, like, but it's they're basically trying to trick Google, and that never tends to pan out very well.
yeah, like all it does is it says Canton Sign Company. They just have like I don't know half the
I
locations in
mean,
Massachusetts.
is there any differences in the
No,
content?
no.
They've changed
image?
the image. That they may have rewritten that text 100 different ways. Are you looking for a way to improve?
Yeah.
No,
They,
they've basically just changed the images.
but they don't do it. They might have like a rotation of three or four because I noticed like going down, I see the same images, but not on every one. Yeah,
Okay.
like yeah, I think that. So
Huh.
it's and they don't have different locations, so that's why I didn't know if there was any benefit to doing something like that. I don't think I would have it as an actual drop down, almost like could you have it hidden in the background? Or is the point to have people click on their town and
Yeah, so I think their goal is to show up location wise specifically for people in those areas.
yeah,
Um, I only again, I don't keep up with every single change that Google makes, but it's my understanding that this is valuable if you have some specific content for that area that's unique. So if you
Okay.
wanted to do a specific area of Boston and you highlighted like the work that you've done there
Hmm.
and use specific case studies for that specific area, and we create a page for that type of content, um, then you might get a little bit of a boost for people in that area that are looking for a
Yeah.
sign company.
Okay.
But it seems the way they're doing it should not be helpful. But again, I don't, yeah, we, this used to be something 5 or 10 years ago where you would come up with 87 different location pages
Yeah.
and then Google would, show them all for people into those locations. But um, yeah, it's something we can look into a little bit, but I can't imagine that they would have a whole lot of benefit. Um, but Austin, we might have, it might be beneficial if we can have one of the team members look into our Ahrefs software and just pull from our side, like, the kind of the reports we do for a new project and just kind of rank competitors and see what like domain rank and something like that. That might be something we want to include whenever we have time. Tom, we could probably put in you and some of your competitors into a software that we use and get a little bit more details about where they're ranking
Okay.
and how you compare and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it might be if we do, we would if you can make a list of maybe like three of your top competitors that you'd like to be compared to. Um,
Yeah.
and if you want us to include this one, we can include this one. And if you want to send us two, maybe three at the
No, I
most.
wouldn't include these guys other
Okay.
than they're small and to say, well, if these guys are making headway with the way their site is, I would say the three would be Poynt, Bluebird, and I'll say Sign Design.
That's
And
such a generic name.
yeah, I was just gonna say that.
I
So
was like, what?
let me make sure they're like in the Brockton area, but
What was the first one?
Poynt,
Poignant?
yeah, you'd probably they do a lot of work in Rhode Island. They're a Massachusetts company, but they're in not too far from you, so you might see their trucks, yellow trucks. Uh, they're in New Bedford. Sign Design is in Brockton. I mean,
Like
a big,
POY?
I pulled
What?
it up. Poyant, Poyant.
Okay,
yeah,
that's what.
and then Sign Design is in Brockton, and then Bluebird is in, I think
Creative.
Bluebird Graphics. Yeah, they're in Woburn.
Okay. Those
I
three
mean,
I could.
yeah, that's it. Those three.
Poignant. Interesting word.
Yeah, it's a name, family name. They've been around a long time.
I mean, I guess they're. I wonder how much they had to pay to get that URL. That
Signdesign.com.
it's
Yeah.
so generic.
Yeah. And then the last one was Bluebird.
Yeah, Bluebird.
Hmm.
Graphic options.
Yeah, we'll run a report and see get an update on where we are from our software perspective on that.
Dave, do you recall? I don't. I don't know if you were there for the if in the findings of meeting with Tom, but were these brought up out of curiosity?
No.
Okay.
I came on
Okay.
in the middle of things,
Gotcha. I can
so to
refer
speak.
back and see if they're on there.
Yeah, I'd be curious. Tom, do you know when you started with Figments? Do you know how long it's been?
With Figments?
Yeah.
Um, I don't, but I can
2024,
maybe,
right?
I mean, if I do a search in my emails, because I was dealing with before Figments, Keith Loris, I can see when my last email from Keith Loris was.
We had a meeting in December 2024. That's the last one I got on my.
Hmm.
No, it was definitely, we've been with you guys longer than that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, for sure, because started in like spring of 24 working with you.
yeah, if I were to guess, I'd say 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um, um, yeah, I'd have to go into my archives.
well, we can also pull the ones from our findings meeting with you, see what the competitors that we brought up to see if those are still relevant to consider.
Yeah, I think it's if it's been 4 or 5 years, I was just thinking it might be helpful just to go ahead and do another like an update, um, and just see where we are.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Um, okay. Let me bring this back up real quick. All right. Let's take Tom, do you want to take some time to talk about the website case studies page?
Um, I don't mind taking the time, but in terms of, yeah, I don't have any content.
Okay. Um, Let me find real quick. Yeah, if I remember right, just to make sure we're on the same track, because you did share with us some content already. Um, so just wanted to clarify some things. So you're kind of looking for a family of signs for each project. Um, so original design, production, permitting notes, infield photos, and show the full suite of the sign types used on a job. Um, so that could be like parking, garage, interior, exterior,
Okay.
lobby graphics. Um, I think you wanted to
Yes.
show
That's
different
right.
industries and types of projects.
Yes. So I guess, yeah, thank you for that. That now
Let me,
refreshes my memory on what we were talking there. So
let me do this.
what a lot of that is in what I sent you. So yeah, I mean, you can work on it as time allows and start based on what I sent you, because a lot of that was categorized by
Mhm.
by client and the whole kind of sign package. Um, so I think what that was, so for, yeah, to kind of show a group of like residential projects and show this whole sign family on the website. Yeah, really kind of taking those pitch decks and having them on the site for the most part. Because
Um,
we
okay.
don't really do that on our website. Everything's kind of, here are the different signs we built by
Mhm.
type, but not necessarily by project. And I think what now you mentioned it, why I brought that up one meeting was because an architect had just said to us, "Oh, I didn't realize you did big projects." By looking at your website, I just see, a lot of different signs you've done. And I guess what we didn't really think about was, we thought we'd show everything we can do. You would think somebody would say, well, if you can do this, this, and this, obviously they could do a project of
Do
a
all of
range
it
of
together
stuff.
for the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to
Mhm.
kind of say, this is by sign type, by project, or by industry.
Yeah.
Uh,
Would you be comfortable even if um, one of the thoughts I had might be to put them, if you did three different groupings of sizes, Because I think it sounds like what
Yeah,
you would like to highlight is some of your biggest projects. And um, I mean, I think you said you've done some upwards of 500,000 plus.
yeah,
Um, so if you had like, here's a suite of projects we've done in, the 50 to $150,000 range, and then here's some project, project we did, and then in the middle, and then here's a project in the 500 plus thousand range, and we did interior, exterior, parking, all the different floors of the building, awnings, whatever it is, all into one. Seems like that would kind of answer that question as
Yeah,
far
are you
as like,
thinking? Oh, sorry, Dave.
that's it. Yeah, just kind of letting your potential customers see the scope that you can handle, a $600,000 project, right? Start to finish.
So you're thinking categorize them by project scope, not
Yeah.
necessarily by because these projects don't always have the same sign types in them. They have multiple sign types within those projects, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was just an idea. I don't know the best way to present that, but I like where you're going with that, Tom, as far as letting your larger clients see that you can handle everything.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I like that you said the dollar volume because I could see a large project being anything from 200,000 to say 250 and greater, medium 100 to 250, and small less than 100K. And that also helps even our clients to say, oh, $100,000 project's a small
Yeah.
account. Maybe,
Right.
maybe my mailbox lettering isn't a good project for them.
Can you make me a license plate?
Yes, yes, we can. Be $25,000. Okay, we'll go.
So if we were going to do these case studies, I'm trying to remember how many did we want to think about doing to start off? We're doing like 10, 5 to 10
Maybe
or
five for each category, small, medium, and large. Or and
okay.
some of those might five's probably a good number even by industry. If I could get five hotels, five residential, five schools, five corporate projects,
Okay.
that'd probably be the.
All right.
I probably should write this down too because start
All right. And so on.
pulling some
Luckily, we
info.
do have a recording, so we'll be able to go back to it. Um, so you did say those. That's helpful. Um, okay. Um, let's break this down. This is
Maybe financial even. I could do like bank changeovers we've done.
Mhm.
okay. Five industry categories. Residential is one. Yeah. Cool.
I could probably have one of our designers work on this too when they're kind of caught up on things.
Do you remember what types you sent us last time? I'm trying to recall. Um, we'll look through them again, double
When
check.
when you say what types of
The content you sent us last time.
I think I grabbed a bunch, probably hotels or we'll call it hospitality. It could be restaurant and hotels,
Okay.
residential, corporate, maybe schools,
Okay. Let me see if I can find it.
and then financial would be a good one with banks.
Okay. I'll look for that again, but yeah, I know we have it. Um, oh wait, I think I found it. Pitch deck for Turner, ESG Athletics, Turner Volp, pitch deck, Stoneham Bank pitch deck, hotel pitch, and residential. So we got a couple there already.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. So a lot of the examples are in there.
Sweet. And those have multiple projects within them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and the one who it went to isn't that like Volpe was, that didn't turn out to be a job we got. We were, we, we did the presentation for them to show. I think that was a corporate job.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah,
a $1 million job.
I think yeah, with the current budget and whatnot, with the scope, we should be able to fit this in. You think so, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we should be good there. Yeah, is there anything else we can flesh this out with? Um, because we could start with this. And we could start with the pitch decks that you sent us. I can resend that email if you'd like, just to see what that thread looked like. Um, to give you context. I might just resend
Okay.
it in its own separate because I think it's buried in a.
Yeah,
Well, no,
yeah,
it's actually in the same thread. It's in a independent thread on that specific subject. So I'll just email in that thread.
Yeah, and for the sake of time, if we wanted to do like a first iteration, you could probably, if you could get one or two projects per category of size, um, that would be enough for us to kind of flesh it out and get it up and running, and then we could always add the additional ones. Um,
okay.
but if you can get it all together at once and it, kind of economies of scale using your time, then that's fine too. But if it's going to take a lot of time or effort and you just want to get something up so you don't, you know, lose an opportunity, we can kind of start with a minimum viable product, so to speak.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool. Sweet. So with that, yeah, I will build out our project for that on the back end for Adrian and the other part of the team, and we can start just drafting mock-ups for a couple of these. We can do one uh, for each what sort of industry category.
Yeah.
Um, and the next question is, where would we want to put this in portfolio?
I mean, maybe it's its own tab for projects, project portfolio, or maybe under
Case studies.
portfolio. So we had featured design build projects. We could just call it featured projects.
Okay.
Hmm.
Because yeah, you do have this built out in types, but not by project.
I mean, is it time to update that? Like, I mean, should it be easier to, oh, see, there is a signage projects at the bottom, second from the bottom, under portfolio.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, so that was Dynatrace. So we did have some there, but they're not, it's no rhyme or reason. I think in that case we were just throwing some. So
Yeah.
one's you know, Charles Street Playhouse was um it's a venue for actually the Blue Man Group ran there for 20 years, but I think just recently left.
Yeah, it also looks like these projects are not separated. So like there's
Yeah,
links to each other. And there's also not like a here, this is the project, this is what the client wanted.
Yes, it's not real clear. Yeah.
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 So there's definitely improvements we can do.
I mean,
Uh,
Dynatrace is a good one for a corporate because there were a ton of cool graphics, and they've since moved from this site. We just did a new site for them over the summer. We could almost combine the two because there's a lot of interesting stuff with their sites.
Yeah. So it might be that we just use
yeah,
Yeah,
this
yep,
page
just
or whatever,
update it.
just redo it. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
like I'm looking at our competitor sign design site, and it's pretty clean, like easy to follow. I went to their our work page. I mean, I think ours has a lot more content, but just on their artwork page. I mean, they don't really show themselves as doing projects here, but it's just pretty easy to follow.
Yeah. Yeah, there's plenty here that we can build out. More or less if they make sure that they're in the right categories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, which I can give you for sure.
Yeah. Great.
Okay.
Sweet. I guess yeah, did we want to keep that under portfolio as science projects or um it looks like feature
I
design
think as
build.
a starting point, but maybe we should look at like just cleaning up the whole portfolio section. I mean, for both companies, now that I see it, just make it, I mean, I'm presuming that's where most people go for both websites.
Yeah.
First thing, let me see what they've done and
Yeah,
just kind of making
I
it.
think we're not going to need the current signage projects page and this case studies page that we're putting together. So I think for now we just use it as I think we'll rename it, and we should probably boost it up to the top, move it up to the top near the
Yeah,
feature design. Because I think once you have the feature design projects and whatever we call this page, then it's clear the other ones are in alphabetical order. Um,
yeah.
it looks like.
Do you want that just, I mean, do we want that to be called like project case studies?
I guess when I think of a case study, I think of it more involved, explaining the whole project in some detail as opposed to just,
Yeah, might need to think
uh,
about what we want to call it.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably could do a case study, but it just, we always get hung on up on the time to write all about it. And
Yeah,
everybody
I think
here
for
seems,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so I don't love that. You know, when you click on it, we probably should have
Some copy.
either some info or multiple pictures,
yeah.
of the project where you can kind of just, I like to click on and just kind of scroll.
I think we
Um,
could call it something like projects by size. I think it might be interesting. We can think about it.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, at the minimum, like we said, we could just, when we do by size, we just want to clarify what size these are. Maybe just some basic info about about these images when we do break them out into independent case studies. Simplified, we'll call them simplified case studies.
yeah,
Uh, so, and that shouldn't be too much when it comes to like, what kind of sign is this? Like, what's the budget for this project? Simple things. So we don't have to grind out a ton of copy and put that on you guys.
okay.
Tom, I think at some point last year we might have talked about in the future, not a specific time in the future, but redoing the MetroSign website.
Yeah,
Um, is that
I mean,
something that you would like to look at later this year?
well, I guess that in the back of my mind is if the two companies merge, we'd be doing a site then. I just don't, we don't
Yeah,
really have
that was
that
gonna be my
pinned down.
follow-up. Sure.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about that mainly because the bank was kind of keeping us at, they wanted them to stay separate, but
Mm,
it's just making, to me, it makes a lot more sense to bring them together.
okay.
Um, but I guess if, I can talk to Brian and Corey, if we don't think that's something we're going to do in the next few years, then yeah, I mean, it could use a refresh.
Yeah, I was thinking as an interim, it could be that we just take the same theme that we used for the Viewpoint site and then just make a MetroSign version of that. If you like the way the Viewpoint, to me, the Viewpoint, since we did it recently, looks modern, fresh, new,
Yeah,
active. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I just um,
yeah,
don't love the portfolio section, but that wasn't
sure.
on you guys.
Yeah.
That was on old
Yeah.
Viewpoint.
No rush. I mean, the current MetroSign site is not bad.
Yeah,
I knew there was some talk at some point about possibly redoing it. But yeah,
yeah,
if you think you might merge in a year or two, then yeah, it seems like it'd be worth just
yeah. But
doing it all at once.
let's talk about it. 6 months down the road to see if
Sure.
it's anything we should be
Yep.
looking to do.
Okay.
I'll put it on our radar.
And
Okay.
are you thinking about possibly next quarter starting revisiting the viewpoint like ads and things like that? Are you going to wait a little bit longer, or do you not know yet?
I don't know yet. Yeah, I don't know yet.
Okay.
See how things start to when they tick up over there.
Sure.
Um, but there's some things just I wonder if it's necessary to do something every week for both companies, or if we look at doing more of the every other week kind of a thing. But even doing that, maybe it will be some investment in, viewpoint, um, marketing, so maybe not the proposal as it was before, maybe some scaled scaled back version of that in
Sure,
conjunction with metros.
sure.
Right?
Or it might be that you get started with maybe some SEO and ads for Viewpoint. I think those would probably generate a faster ROI.
Agree.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, you feel like I think we've gotten a good start on the website case studies for MSA. Um, any final things other than us? We're gonna do a href research on those domains just to look further into the SEO, um, and then just making a mark about the MSA website update. Just revisit that in 6 months.
mhm.
Okay.
So,
Yep. I don't have anything else to add.
all right,
Okay.
sweet, awesome. Tom, how would you rate the meeting?
Uh, 9.5.
Hey, I'll take it. Sweet.
Excellent.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk to you guys in 2 weeks. Tom will
Yep.
be us too.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll roll out the VP social media, doing every other week post for them. So
Great.
I'll do that.
All right.
Thank
Thank you,
Good
you.
to see you,
guys.
Tom. Have a good afternoon.
You too. Talk to
Stay
you later.
Yeah.
warm.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.